Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. P. Welcome back today for another video. Now, in this one, we have more to go over about the Season 7 storyline and what exactly might be happening and what the plot line might actually be. Guys, if you enjoy the video, definitely drop a like and stick around all the way through the entire video to make sure you're fully caught up. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading every single day and will continue uploading throughout the holidays, covering the latest and most breaking Fortnite news, information, storyline updates, and so much more. I've got you covered with that right here on the channel. It recently came to my attention that I never talked about the Week 2 loading screen for Season 7 on the channel, and sure enough, I hadn't. So let's go ahead and do that in this video. Let me make it up to you guys. Here it is. The featured character in this one is LYNX. Of course, you can see her in one of her first forms, sitting in her laboratory, basically just working on something. Now, it's interesting because if you take a look at the papers in front of her, you can see one of them, the one on the right, actually shows her upgraded form. So maybe she's working on her own suit in this picture. She's working on getting her upgrades and getting her new abilities to be able to upgrade herself to a new form. Maybe that's what she's doing. But on the left, you see another piece of paper which has what appears to be a very cartoony version of the Omega skin from Season 4. Of course, you guys know who that is, the villain skin from Season 4. That's definitely intriguing. So in a way, that's tying together Season 7 to Season 4. 3 seasons apart, 3 seasons difference, but they're still tied together in some way. Now, I'm curious to figure out why they chose to put Omega in this loading screen and what sort of significance it has to LYNX. Now, is it possible that, she is an ex-girlfriend of his or something like that, in some way involving the two? I'm not entirely sure, but there definitely seems to be some admiration going on because of the hearts. There's definitely something going on as to where she's looking up to him, she likes him in some way. The hearts definitely paint a picture for us, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly that picture might be. Just to put this into perspective, let's go and take a look at the Week 1 loading screen for Season 7, the one prior to the one I just showed you. And this one, you can see the character Zenith in his very first form as well, going down a zip line with a dog on his back. There's not a whole lot you can take away from this one, at least in my mind. Maybe there's something super secret in the background that I'm just not picking up on. But based on what I've seen and based on what I've seen from others, it's not too big. It's just painting a very vague picture for the start of the season. But the second one is where you start to actually get some good information. The Week 3 loading screen has not come out yet, and I'll definitely update you guys whenever we get it, whenever it is leaked. Speaking of leaks, that is a good point. I want to bring this up to you guys. So, I don't know if you guys follow many leakers or follow many Fortnite accounts on Twitter, but there's one that I would feature in a lot of my videos called FNBR Leaks, one of the first main leakers that started to put stuff out early, one of the first main data miners for the game. Epic Games actually sent him a cease and desist letter. Basically, what that means is Epic is forcing him to shut down his Fortnite Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, literally everything based on his account, or they're taking legal action against him for leaking. That's how serious Epic Games is taking this. I mean, they're a little late to the party because there are hundreds upon hundreds of Fortnite leak accounts out there, but they definitely made a big statement by shutting down one of the top, if not the top leaker for Fortnite. I mean, they completely shut him down, completely took him off the internet. And that's why over the past few weeks, I have not been showing you guys anything, involved with the leaks. Oftentimes there are leaks and then pictures of the leaked stuff, and I just can't show you guys that because it's not worth taking the risk. You can openly talk about stuff. There's nothing wrong in talking about things that are leaked, but the second you actually, promote what's actually physically in the game with visuals that were leaked from the game's coding early, at that point, Epic Games, they're not a fan of that. So that's what they did to one of the biggest leak accounts. They shut them down. It's been a long time coming, to be honest. But anyway, definitely very interesting stuff. I am curious, though, about the future of leaking. I'm sure it will still happen. I mean, people can still leak. It's not like they're shutting down the process of people leaking because, quite frankly, they can't do that. a lot of people can leak. It's not that terribly difficult to do that. So word will still get around. People will still make new Twitter accounts, and word will still get out there. So I'm sure all the leaked stuff that we're used to getting will still come out. And there will still be leaks in general, but I reckon there will be a slowdown at the very least on leaks, which, I guess is a good thing for the game, because let's make no mistake, to be honest, I'm a fan of the game when everyone just logs on and they're just exploring and all at the same time completely new to the game. I love those kind of updates. I remember, maybe 8 years ago when I was playing Call of Duty all the time, I would get up early in the morning for the DLC drops, and everyone would just get on the game. This was back before everyone would upload early gameplay from events or whatever, so the maps were literally just brand new, okay? And it was just so fun to explore that and just experience that with friends. And now with Fortnite, yeah, the new stuff comes out and it's technically new, but we've known about it for a while, we've talked about it and discussed it, so it's not exactly a new concept, it's just the first time that you've actually been able to use it, so it's a little bit of a difference. I definitely would prefer if there were no spoilers, but hey, there's pretty much no getting around leaking unless you cut yourself off of social media, which is probably not worth it in the long term. The craziest thing just happened literally just minutes ago. As I'm recording the video, I get an update on my phone. I look at it. Fortnite tweets. They say, "Hey folks, we messed up and rolled out the Infinity Blade overpowered or without good counters, especially in the end game. The Infinity Blade has been vaulted, and we are re-evaluating our approach to mythic items. Thanks for calling us out on this." A prayer has been answered by the Fortnite community. Basically, every single person I've talked to has explained and expressed the same concern about the sword. It's just too overpowered. Literally every single game you play that makes it to the end game, someone's got a sword and you've got to figure out how to deal with them. But now they have vaulted the sword, effective immediately, which is extremely interesting. This sword was obviously huge. It was probably going to be big in the storyline. I mean, they made a whole trailer about it and hyped up this sword and even teased it. Oh my gosh, this was a big part of the season, and everyone hated on it so much that they had to vault it because it was just too overpowered. Unfortunate, but very warranted. That was a good thing they did because the sword was way too overpowered. Maybe they'll consider re-releasing it in the future if they make some major changes and nerf that in a big way. I'm pretty sure Epic knew this was going to be overpowered the second they dropped it. I mean, if they had any testing going on over there, they would probably figure that out, to be honest with you. There's no way that anyone thought that was a good idea in the current format. If anyone had played, they would have realized that the endgame is absolutely crappy when the sword is in the game. So anyway, I'm glad that's taken care of. Literally all the replies on Fortnite's Twitter for the past 3 or 4 days since the sword has come out has just been, vault the sword, remove the sword, and finally they did. I don't know how many of you guys knew this, but the Winter Skirmish was so heavily impacted by this sword. The Winter Skirmish was a recent competitive event that Fortnite hosted, and they basically put in the sword one day before the event. People had trained and worked so hard to be able to get in the position to compete, and the second they are actually able to compete, they are thwarted. Their complete strategies are thrown off because there's a random sword in the game, and some guy went off. There was a huge clip that went viral on Twitter of some guy using that sword in the competition and getting like 15 kills in a minute or something crazy because no one can stop the sword. It's just completely overpowered. Was overpowered, no longer in the game. I'm kind of getting onto a rant. Definitely though, let me know what you guys think about the sword being vaulted. I'm sure most of you guys are on the same side of the fence I'm on. You're glad it's vaulted. I'd be up for it coming back too, as long as it was fair. They just got to find a way to completely balance it, and I'm not even sure what the solution would be, but it's just got to be so heavily nerfed because the way it was, yikes, that was just not fair, and I'm pretty sure Epic knew that. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, and if you're a real trooper, turn on those notifications so you can be among the first to be notified each and every time something happens in Fortnite, guys. There's a ton happening in the game. You're going to want to be notified. I'm uploading another video later today that's going to be big as well, so make sure you guys are staying tuned. I'll catch you in the next one, and until then, peace out, guys.